Hello and welcome to the third in this series by the Ministry of Miniatures, showing off the British 8th Army and Commonwealth, as well as the other nations that would assist. So in the last two videos you would have seen my British 8th Army, and then I showed off some of the Commonwealth nations. But this army is my Sikh army, which you will see shortly, but you'll see because I've done different skin tones, it's not quite so interchangeable as the last. So what I've done this time is just made sure that I had enough to make a small army. So as you'll see from this army, the basing is all the same. So if I wanted to run the engineers with these, I could do quite easily, or a squad of Maoris or Scottish or British, or I could just have these running alongside one of my other nations. But this essentially can also be created from the starter set. So let's have a look. So first up I have a Sikh officer. You can see with his assistant, I've given him the whistle and a pistol, and his assistant has a submachine gun. And then with all the British units, what I tend to do is give them 8 riflemen. The NCO at the front here will have an SMG. There'll be 8 riflemen, and then an LMG and loader. And then here's the second squad, identical to the first. So 8 riflemen with an LMG and the SMG NCO at the front. And then again, the corporal at the front with an SMG, 8 riflemen and an LMG at the back there. So that makes up the 3 sections, as it would be for the British Army, and the officer and support. And then of course, because it's a Sikh army, the support teams I've created, again here you can see the medium machine gun. I've done the machine gunners with Indian darker skin than the British and sort of Western European armies, and the Australian and white New Zealand armies. But yeah, so these I guess could be used as Maoris if I wanted them, which would be quite good, I think. And then also the same with the mortar. So I've given them the darker skin tone so they could blend in with the rest of the army and be themed. And then again, exactly the same as before, I've got a light mortar on the base there together. I've also got the anti-tank rifle, and where I can, I've tried to put spare weapons down with them, or just to make the bases all a bit more interesting. And then on this side you can see the sniper there. He's just put his rucksack down. The spotter's got his binoculars and he's looking through a scope at a target. And then again, as I say, always with British armies, because of their forward observer rule, I've got a Sikh forward observer with a map and a support assistant there with binoculars, and they've both got rifles so that I can use them to capture objectives, etc. And that is the objective marker there. So as you can see, that is the infantry and support for the 8th Army Sikhs. But what I've also got here is some special tanks and vehicles for them. So first up in a new paint scheme is the Morris LRC. So you can see here it's got some machine gun and anti-tank. Again, it's in the 8th Army decals and weathering, so it can match in with the other army. Just for a bit of variety, I wanted to do different paint schemes, just so that it would keep me interested whilst I was doing all of the painting for the different vehicles. But quite a nice little armoured car. Then next up is the Indian open top armoured car there. I get exactly the same pattern. So I've tried to do it based on the same pattern that is in the Bovington Tank Museum on the M3 there. So I've kind of linked it in with the whole of the army here. So as you can see, the 2 Sikh troops inside the open top armoured car. And as you see, the weathering just makes it very well used and makes it look bit like a veteran vehicle really, but I won't be running them as veteran. But the armament on this is you've got a Bren on the top there and an anti-tank gun at the front. So onto the M3 Grant. So as you can see here, it has a medium and a light anti-tank gun. I've used it on the battle reports, it's quite good. And as I said, I've done the paint scheme to match what is on display at the Bovington Tank Museum, but actually I've just gone a bit heavier on the weathering because I wanted it to look like it had been out in the desert and it had some fierce combat. And as you can see there, I've just got some sand stuck to the back of it, and that therefore makes some extra vehicles that can either go with my 8th Army or makes quite a nice force of the British 8th Army with Sikh troops as part of the Commonwealth. So I hope you like that. Please give me a like, comment, share and subscribe. And up next will be, tomorrow will be the SAS and Long Range Desert group. So take care and see you soon.